In today's lesson, we will be multiplying binomials and trinomials. In the last lesson, we distributed monomials, but now if you look down here, here's just an example of a question you might see in today's lesson, where we will multiply a binomial by a trinomial. Now, for the different types of questions in this lesson, I'm going to show you two different methods to get the answer, and you get to choose which method that you prefer, box method or FOIL method. So here are two binomials, 2x plus 3 times x plus 4, and I'm going to show you the box method first. When you're first learning this concept, a lot of students prefer the box method because it really keeps all of your work organized. But as you do a few of these, a lot of you will then start to prefer the FOIL method because you can get the answers a lot quicker using the FOIL method. But to use the box method, I'm going to create a 2 by 2 box. So 2 units by 2 units, and the reason I'm doing 2 is because I'm dealing with binomials, which have 2 terms. So I'm going to write one of my binomials on the side of my box, and then the other one on top of my box. And now to fill in the box, we're going to treat this like a multiplication table. So to fill in the first box, 2x times x is 2x squared. And then 2x times 4 is 8x. The bottom left box, it would be 3 times x is 3x. And then that last box, 3 times 4 is 12. And then now you want to combine like terms within your box, which in most cases will always be on that diagonal. So my final answer is 2x squared plus 3x plus 8x is 11x, and then I have plus 12 as my constant at the end. So when you multiply two linear binomials by each other, you should result in a quadratic trinomial. Alright, so now I'm going to give you one question to try on your own using the box method, and then I will teach you the FOIL method. So our two binomials, 6h minus 7 times 2h plus 3, going to create my 2 by 2 box. And let's write 6h, and then since it's minus 7, let's make sure we write a negative 7, and then 2h plus 3. So I want you to pause the video and try this on your own, and then check your answer. So after you fill in the box, and then combine the like terms on the diagonal, you should have gotten that the answer is 12h squared plus 4h minus 21. Alright, so now we're going to do the exact same concept but use a different method. This is the FOIL method. And this is the method I would like all of you to eventually be able to do. But I understand that when you first start out, the box method really helps organize all of your work. But I want you to eventually get to the FOIL method. So, what does FOIL mean? FOIL uses the letters F, O, I, and L to tell you the order in which you multiply your terms together. And it stands for first, outside, inside, last. So let's look at a problem. The binomial 8x plus 2, and then we're multiplying by x plus 5. Alright, so the first, outside, inside, last tells you the order in which you multiply the terms. First means that you multiply the first term in each binomial together. So 8x and x are the first terms in the binomials, and when you multiply them together you get 8x squared. And then outside you multiply the two outside terms. 8x and 5 are the two on the outside, and 8x times 5 is 40x. And then inside, so the two inside terms, 2 and x, 2 times x is 2x. And then last, the last terms in each binomial would be 2 and 5. 2 times 5 is 10. So if you multiply in this order, in most cases it would mean that you get 2. Combine your like terms, which will be in the center. So I'm left with 8x squared plus 40x plus 2x is 42x, and then plus 10 is my constant. So there is the solution after you multiply those two binomials together using the FOIL method. I'm going to give you one to try on your own now using the FOIL method. So your two binomials that I want you to multiply, 9a minus 8 times 7a plus 4. So I want you to practice multiplying all the terms together using the FOIL method, first, outside, inside, and last. And just be careful that because we have minus 8 that you're multiplying by negative 8. So pause the video and try it on your own. So when you multiplied, you should have gotten 63a squared for your first terms, outside 36a, inside negative 56a, and last negative 32. And now you can combine your like terms to get 63a squared minus 20a and then minus 32. Alright, so now we're going to use the same concept, but instead of multiplying two binomials together, we're multiplying binomials by trinomials. So, same idea. I'm going to show you the two different methods, and you get to choose which one that you'd like to use. So, box method, instead of doing a 2 by 2 box, I need to create a 3 by 2 box because I have a trinomial and a binomial. So I'm going to write my trinomial on the side, 4x squared plus x minus 6, and then my binomial on top, 2x and then minus 3. And let's fill in the box. 4x squared times 2x, multiply the coefficients, 2 times 4 is 8, and then it would be x to the third, add the exponents. Second box, top right, 4 times negative 3, negative 12, and then x squared follows. X times 2x, 2x squared. Negative 3 times x, it would be negative 3x. Negative 6 times 2x is negative 12x. And then negative 3 times a negative 6 is a positive 18. Alright, so we have our box filled in. We're going to combine our like terms. So here we have two terms with the x squared, and then two terms with just x. So we can combine each of those. So my answer, first term is 8x to the third. The next I need to combine 2x squared and minus 12x squared would be minus 10x squared. And then negative 12x plus a negative 3x would be negative 15x. And then a positive 18 at the end. So there's using the box method to multiply a trinomial times a binomial. So here is the second example using the box method. 6n minus 8 times the trinomial 2n squared plus n plus 7. And I set up the box for you. So I want you to go ahead, pause the video, try it on your own, and then come back and check your answer. So after you fill in the box, you should have combined like terms to get the answer 12n to the third. And then combine your terms with n squared. You should get, let's see, minus 10n squared. And then combine the terms with just n, and you should get plus 34n, and then minus 56 at the end. So now let's practice the same concept, but we will be distributing instead of making a box. Alright, so instead of making a box, really all you need to do is you're applying the distributive property, but we're going to take the variable x in this binomial, and you need to multiply that x by every term in the trinomial. And after you multiply the x by everything, you need to multiply the 9 by everything, and then combine like terms and write your answer in standard form. So let's do this. So we're going to multiply x times x squared is x to the third. X times a negative 4x would be minus 4x squared. And then x times 1 would be plus 1x. So that's what we get after multiplying x times all the terms in the trinomial. Now let's multiply the 9 by each term. So plus 9 times x squared is 9x squared. 9 times a negative 4x is negative 36x. And then 9 times 1 is 9. So now let's combine our like terms. Negative 4x squared can be combined with 9x squared. And then the 1x can be combined with the negative 36x. So to write our final answer, we have the first term x to the third, and then negative 4x squared plus 9x squared is plus 5x squared, and then 1x plus negative 36x will leave us with minus 35x with a plus 9 at the end. And our answer, we get a cubic polynomial as our answer. Now I'm going to give you one question to try on your own using this method, and then we will do one more question in this lesson together. So I want you to do x squared minus 6x plus 3 times 2x minus 5. And you can tackle this, a couple different ways. If you want to multiply your trinomial to your binomial, or you can think about going backwards and multiplying the 2x to everything in the trinomial, and then multiply the negative 5 times everything. So go ahead and pause the video and try this one on your own, and then come back and check your answer. So after you distribute everything and combine like terms, you should get 2x to the third minus 17x squared plus 36x and then minus 15. Alright, so now let's do one last question together applying these concepts to geometry. Alright, so I have two rectangles, and the directions say to find the area of the shaded region. Well, area of a rectangle, we should all know, is base times height or length times width. So to find the area of the shaded region, what you need to do is find the area of this large rectangle, and then we need to subtract the area of the smaller rectangle, and that will give you the area left over. So to find the area of this large rectangle, we are multiplying 3x times the quantity x plus 5. So all we have to do here is just distribute. So 3x times x is 3x squared, and then 3x times 5 is 15x. So here is the area of the large rectangle. But now we need to find the area of the smaller rectangle and subtract it from the larger one. So let's just label this large rectangle. And now for the small rectangle, we're multiplying two binomials together. X plus 2 times x plus 3. So let's use the FOIL method. We're going to multiply first. X times x is x squared. Outside, x times 3 is 3x. Inside, 2 times x is 2x. And last, 2 times 3 is 6. Combine your like terms. X squared plus 5x plus 6 is the area of the smaller rectangle. So now, to find the area of the shaded region, we need to subtract. So 3x squared plus 15x. Here's a polynomial, and we're going to subtract our other polynomial, which is x squared plus 5x plus 6. So now we need to think back to our previous lesson. How do you subtract polynomials? Well, we need to distribute this negative sign and then combine like terms. So 3x squared plus 15x minus x squared minus 5x and then minus 6. Combine like terms. Let's see, 15x and a negative 5x, negative x squared, 3x squared. So 3x squared minus x squared is 2x squared. 15x plus a negative 5x is 10x, and then leaves you with a minus 6 at the end. So here is the area of the shaded region. Finding one area, finding the second, and subtracting. So there's your full lesson on multiplying binomials and trinomials. Good luck!